have over 100 pounds to lose. This last week, I've been like really focused and working on it, and it went actually quite well. Let's do a weigh-in. So I've got my FitnessPal up. Here's where I recorded all of my food and exercise. Sunday is actually the day that you saw in a separate video where I did what I ate in a day, where I had like some tofu and rice, some burritos, and then some fruit later on. Monday, again, I do a lot of fried tofu this time with some noodles. Later on, I ate like a little bit more of a calorie dense thing. It was like noodles with cheese and butter, vegan, of course, but a little bit more higher in calorie. But as you can see, I added an extra 1,000 calories to this day because I did Zumba. An hour of Zumba for me burns over 1,000 calories. So when on the days that I do Zumba, like for example on Tuesday, I got, mashed potatoes and meatloaf and vegetables and also some hash browns later. And again, all of that food was afforded because I specifically did that hour of Zumba, but I didn't do that like every single day. So as you can see, like when we get to Wednesday here, I don't have any exercise. So I needed to, of course, cut back down the calories, which I'm finding is not difficult. I'm only that hungry when I go to the gym. I'm not that hungry if I don't. So bread and butter, some ramen and tofu. I'm telling you, I literally eat ramen and tofu like probably 5 or 6 days a week. Thursday, I was kind of out and about, and admittedly, this is the one day that does include some dairy. These raspberry cookies that they have at Subway are like not vegan. Honestly, a Subway was only because I happened to have a Subway card, like a gift card thing. I wouldn't usually do just a veggie sandwich, but admittedly, I was out all day, like so busy doing stuff that day that, frankly, even vegetables on bread tasted crazy amazing that day. That's one thing I'm noticing is when I wait to eat until I'm actually hungry, food just tastes like so much better. Yesterday, I ate some, again, noodles, tofu, vegetables. I found a new snack, which is pretzels with marmalade. If you're into like salty sweet, holy moly, that was good. And then I definitely had to account for the beatbox that I drank while I was out last night. I tried to do particularly good this week because I knew that this weekend I would be letting loose a little bit and consuming probably more calories than would keep me in a deficit. For today, I'm going to go out drinking tonight. And because I'm going to be in LA, there's like a special donut shop that like I'm never in that area. I would really like to stop by the donut shop. And that's fine. Like I want balance like that. I want to be able to go out on the weekends and, have a special treat or drink with my friends. That's why I just specifically kind of made up for those calories beforehand, because that's the thing that I would fall into in the past, was where I'd be like, oh yeah, I know I'm going to go out drinking this weekend, but that just means like next week I need to do well, right? I never did well after. Next week never is good if I say I'm going to do it next week. So I was like, you know what? I know I'm going out drinking this weekend. Let me prepare for that. I've got 100 pounds to lose. I've lost 5 pounds so far in the last week. So we're like off to a really good start. I'm feeling super duper motivated. Last night was the first night since I've been doing this that I allowed myself some grace. I went out, had some drinks, had some fast food, did not stay in a calorie deficit. That's okay. It's different than how I usually do it because it was pre-planned and I ate really well and kind of exercised and prepared up until then. And it wasn't like a splurge, spur of the moment kind of thing. It was planned. Now here though is kind of a pivotal moment the day after, is where I don't usually return to healthy habits once I break from them for a moment. Like I would love nothing more than to eat a pizza right now. But see, I have to think about it so much differently. I have to think about it. I would love nothing more than to not be obese. I would love for my knees not to hurt. I would love to buy cheap, smaller clothing that I see that I would love to be wearing. Like I would love to not be overweight. So with that said, let's do a little what I eat in the day today to like hold myself accountable on the food. Pretzels with marmalade has been my favorite like salty sweet combo snack lately. First up, veg, because this just really needs to be eaten. Hash browns and hummus because that's what actually sounds good right now and I just want to eat it. I reheated the veg. I'm going to eat that and enjoy this little dip plate while I wait for my potatoes to cook. As always, nobody's saying this is a perfect day of eating. What I'm trying to do here is just stay in a calorie deficit and not binge eat on pizza and brownies. I'm craving something sweet, so I'm going to make a little fruit smoothie. The last thing I'm going to eat today is just some more pretzels with some marmalade and hummus to dip them in. Now, I understand for a lot of people this would not be considered a healthy day of eating, and there was a ton of fat, sugar, and carbs, not very much protein. I understand that.
For me, this was a healthy day of eating, and that kind of gives you a little bit of perspective on just how badly it is that I, very recently used to eat. But frankly, instead of what 4 or 5,000 calories worth of sugar and carbs today, I ate 1,500 calories worth of sugar and carbs. If you happen to see the last weigh-in that I posted, I was down 5 pounds, yay! But also in that video, I talked about like the full week's worth of eating. If you're interested in a little bit more in depth, even 1 week's not gonna give you too good of an idea though, so I'll keep posting as it keeps happening. I've got over 100 pounds to lose. I've lost almost 5 so far in the last week, so in the spirit of keeping that trend going, let's do a mini health vlog today. Hydration, I'm gonna do that by way of this ginger and probiotic tea. You've probably seen this tea 100 times on this channel. It's my favorite. I've been drinking it for years. These breakfast burritos have tofu scramble and a little bit of potato, onions, and peppers in there. I'm gonna eat these little hash brown patties with a fried tofu on top, a little ketchup and sriracha. I've also got some caramelized onions and peppers with green beans, some garlic butter green beans at that, and some tofu mixed in here. And while I eat this meal, I'm gonna go just watch some generally health and weight loss related videos. I'm gonna watch videos on fasting and weight loss inspiration, and just honestly just tap into YouTube and start seeing where it takes me. And I'm gonna do that because my mindset is a huge part of staying on track with this. Instead of thinking about things like, oh, I wish I could have a pizza, I need to keep my mindset at, I wish my knees didn't hurt, I wish I could fit into the clothes I want to, I wish I wasn't obese. I ended up grabbing one more of those breakfast burritos with the tofu scramble in it that I had earlier, and now I'm making my way out. I'm going to be just in time to make the hour-long Zumba class at the gym. I'll mention, of course, too, that tea I had in the morning, of course, is not the only source of hydration. I've been drinking while throughout. I'll probably have some more tea later and all that. With that said, though, let me go hit Zumba class. I actually really like Zumba class. It's basically just a dance class. If I wasn't so fat, I would actually be a dancer, so... That said, I'm gonna go home and probably make myself a pancake. I'm having like a sugar craving, something serious. I'm gonna eat pancakes cooked in butter. This was a full pancake. I ate it while I was waiting for the other one to cook. I just realized it's Monday night too, that on Saturday when I did my weigh-in and I was down from 264 to 257, I did not record that in my Fitness Pal. I've recorded that now. You can see it went from 1690 to, now down to 1640. Obviously, as I keep losing weight, I'll need to keep eating a little less calories. So here you can see those burritos that I ate this morning here, the green beans, hash brown tofu that I ate, and a couple of pancakes that I just ate now, plus the hour of Zumba that I did. That leaves me 229, but I'm just going to leave it there. As you can see, there's usually a couple hundred. That's the one day that, like I said, I went out and didn't stay within calorie, but every other day you can see there's like at least some calories left for the most part. I have over 100 pounds to lose. I'm down about 5 so far. What I've noticed by like specifically writing down all of the food that I'm eating and tracking it is, well, I kind of already knew that, but we're just in the era of like actually fixing problems that I know about. I eat a lot of fat, a lot of carbs, and not very much protein, and I pretty much know that higher protein is going to keep me longer, fuller, have me eating less often, and is better for weight loss. So I want to try to up my protein a little bit. So I just typed into Google high protein, low calorie, vegan, because those were the 3 qualifications that I'm looking for. I do eat dairy occasionally, but it definitely does not align with my morals, so I want to get back to not eating any at all. So I literally just, high protein, low calorie, and started scrolling through here. A lot of these are, scrambled tofu, which was already on my list. A lot of it's like protein powder or black beans or tempeh, stuff that like I'm just not really interested in eating. Wow, there's a lot of ads. I did find like a couple on here that I really like. It reminded me about lentils. I love lentils. I've eaten lentils a lot in the past, but I just kind of forgot about them. I swear, like when food comes to mind, it's all carb. Like if I could healthfully eat only carbs, cheesy carbs for the rest of my life, I would. But that's not an option. So we're going to have to do a little bit more protein. So I saved this recipe for like a lentil chili. That sounds amazing. I could eat it by myself, eat it over rice, or instead of the like store-bought chili that I've been buying, I could use that to make like chili cheese dog, chili cheese fry, chili cheese mac, stuff like that. Again, like a lot of seitan, not really my vibe. Um, but I did see this one. This one I also saved. I could make like a tofu ricotta. That sounds pretty darn good. But I think instead of the spinach, I would do eggplant. I remember a recipe I used to eat for like an eggplant lasagna that I used to get at a restaurant that I absolutely loved. I'm not doing anything specific here. I'm just going to try to be mindful about adding a little bit more protein in at each meal. I'm not going to set any sort of like restrictions or levels or numbers or anything like that on carbs or protein, but I'm just going to look at my meals and be like, okay, let me take a little bit of this carb out and add a little bit extra of the protein. Over 100 pounds to lose. I'm down about 5 so far. I need to start upping the protein in my meals a little bit, as I mentioned recently, so here's what that looks like for me. Starting with canned lentils, I'm going to add some tomato sauce in there. This is inspired by the recipes I was talking about yesterday in that video, like a vegan ricotta, but of course I don't have the ingredients that they're asking for, so this is just inspired by. This is half a block of tofu, a tablespoon of olive oil, splash of lemon, and then some taco seasoning. I ended up adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil to get this to blend into a like fairly smooth texture. I've got some of the sauce with lentils in the bottom of a pan, and I'm going to take this tofu mixture that we made and stuff these jumbo shells with it, and then I'll cover with another layer of sauce and bake. Pot, I've got half a cup of rehydrated TVP. I've got 1 cup of that lentils and pasta sauce from earlier and 1 cup of water in here. I added 1 cup of pinto beans, and I'm going to go in with just seasons and spices. Whatever seasonings, a touch of sriracha, and then I'm going to let this sit for several hours just to kind of like marinate all together, and then I'll cook it later. I just put that chili on top of a piece of sourdough bread and 2 veggie dogs, and I've got the extra chili I might eat on the side. I need some crackers to finish up this chili with. This stuff ended up kind of spicy. The only thing those meals were missing today was a little bit of follow your heart cheese. I feel like that could have topped it off perfectly, but they were still pretty good even without it, and they were definitely a lot higher protein than I typically eat. That's going to be all the food I'll eat today. I'll throw the screen grab from my fitness pal up now. 100 pounds to lose. I lost 7 pounds last week. So this week we're like just staying on that grind, right? Tomorrow's my next weigh-in. But today though, I'm going to go out and end up like at a restaurant probably eating out. So let me show you what that's going to look like while still staying in a calorie deficit. I don't want weight loss to feel restrictive, like I can't go out to eat or go out with friends and have fun, right? But I'm just going to try to choose a little bit better options. So instead of like pizza or burgers, we're going with like veg and noodles and some healthier snacks. Also, I'm going to try to just be doing, healthy calorie burning activities. So for today's activity, we decided to go for a walk on the Venice Boardwalk from Venice all the way over to the Santa Monica Pier. Of exercise has never really been my problem. It's an overabundance of food. Of course, cutting on the food remains my main focus, but remaining healthy and active, doing Zumba classes, going for walks on the beach, going for hikes, that needs to like remain a constant part of my life too.